Kenapa sih? Hello, I am Robert Harris. I am the Assistant Legal Advisor for East Asia and Pacific Affairs at the United States Department of State. I have practiced international law with the Department of State for more than 30 years. I also am a professor of international law and the international law of the sea. People have asked me why Indonesia should care about the South China Sea. And I come at this issue from an international law perspective with respect to maritime claims in the South China Sea. Indonesia is an important country with a major maritime claim in the South China Sea based from Natuna Island. They have a territorial sea, they have an exclusive economic zone, and a continental shelf. Exclusive economic zones and continental shelves give the coastal states sovereign rights over the natural resources in the water and in the seabed and subsoil. Indonesia is deeply invested economically, politically, culturally in the South China Sea. That's why it's an issue of great importance to Indonesia, to the Philippines, to Vietnam, and to other countries that border on the South China Sea. One of the issues that I focus on, and that the Department of State and other countries in the region focus on, is that one country, China, has an expansive maritime claim, a very expansive maritime claim, that is inconsistent with international law and that infringes on the rights, legal rights, of countries like Indonesia. The South China Sea is a huge body of water in Southeast Asia that borders Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Indonesia. The 9-dash line is a map. It's a reference to a map that China issued in 2009 in which it was describing what its maritime claims might be in the South China Sea. It is an area that would enclose 75% of the South China Sea within its waters. Indonesia is a coastal state. It has an exclusive economic zone and a continental shelf and a territorial sea in the South China Sea. Its legal rights are based in the South China Sea, so it has a great interest in what happens there. Limits in the Seas is a study that we've conducted at the Department of State since 1972. Limits in the Seas 150, which was the 150th version of that, was looking at China's maritime claims in the South China Sea. Certainly don't have enough time to characterize a 150-page study, but the conclusion was that the Chinese maritime claims in the South China Sea were not consistent with international law as reflected in the Law of the Sea Convention. Our hope and expectation is that all of the states in the South China Sea will be able to resolve their legal disputes peacefully, and that the countries in the South China Sea, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Vietnam, will be able to exploit and use the rights that they enjoy as a matter of international law.